Okay, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Brianna from Hip Hop United on the check-in with my special guest, the legendary multi-platinum selling group, Goodie Mobb.
Say that thing with some respect on it, good.
I just want to say thank you,
everybody.
for the time to talk to me today. I have my hip hop connoisseurs on here with me, so we're gonna basically start the conversation.
Let's do it.
Like I said, Legends in the Game, the new single, Are You Ready? The new album, Survival Kit. It's definitely right on time with what's going on in the world right now. Are You Ready? Let's get into that first, the new single. With the iconic Chuck D. Like I said, it's based on what's going on in the world right now. Get into that. I guess we can start with Cujo.
You guys came up with the concept.
Right.
The Get Ready song, man, how I start out, man, Sleepy Brown had sent the track to, well, actually we was working with Organized Noise. And all of us decided, man, you know what I'm saying, let's go ahead and put a record together. So Sleepy Brown had sent some music to CeeLo, and CeeLo had put his verse down first. You know what I mean? So after CeeLo put his verse down, he had like a little chorus, like for a hook, but it wasn't all the way finished though, but it was like a little idea. So I laid the verse down, then Gilp laid the verse down, then Timo laid the verse down. So we sat down, we was like, damn, man, Chuck D sound good on this motherfucker, you know what I mean? So I had a contact on him. I got in touch with him. I said, Chuck, man, I'm like, man, we just need your voice on it, man. I don't care what you say, man, just your voice, just the voice on it. He's like, nah, man, Joe, just write what you want me to say, man. This is y'all shit, man, you know what I mean? So just write what you want to say. So he sent it back to me. Then I sent it to Ray Murray with Organized Noise. Ray Murray chopped that shit up, man, and then he made it do what you're hearing right now. You know what I mean? So I thought that shit would be, man, we thought it'd be great, man, to have a legend like Chuck D on there, man, that really one of my favorite MCs, man, of all time, man, with the conscious rap. You know what I mean? So just to have him on Goodie Mobb stuff, man, that solidified New York, that solidified London, you know what I'm saying, that took us worldwide again. So, you know what I'm saying, it was only right, man, that, you know what I'm saying, that Are You Ready? You know what I'm saying, with Chuck D and Goodie Mobb, man.
The thing that I like about that track is that it set the tone for the rest of the album. Was that intentional? Do you think that because like I went back and I listened to Soul Food, and Soul Food kind of you kind of creeped on us a little bit with Soul Food, but with this one y'all just jumped right in there. This was like, boom, this is what's going on. This is what y'all need to know. So
yeah, it was intentional. It was intentional because of the situation. Because the situation, the world changed last March. You know what I mean? So with it changing, it was intentional that we got everybody's attention. Because, the biggest thing Organized Noise said that, when y'all come back, y'all got to have a song that's going to cut through all the bullshit. You know what I mean? So that was the intention of starting the album right there, because I feel like it's urgent that we grab the attention of some of the brothers out there, because I feel like the brothers have just been misled through the music for so long. And right now they paying the kids more than we ever saw, in the beginning of our career. So, that just tells us that that's the way for them to disconnect the youth from us. See, if you pay a kid more than they feel like they OGs got, then the kid feel like he ain't got to use you. He ain't got to listen to you, which means you turn into actually a slave for the system.
Right.
See, the way we came into the music business, it wasn't all this going on. It wasn't even no internet when we first came in the music business. So for us, it's like, the one thing we want to let everybody know is that it's still ones out here that's going to use music for the good. And that's really what our intention is all about with Survival Kit, because I feel like so many of these kids, that's why so many of these rappers dying, man. Because they keep putting on and they keep putting this type of music at the top of the food chain. Right. So you're gonna keep and look who all do this, all of us. So that's the reason why it was so important for Goodie Mobb to come back right now, man, because all they care about now is money.
Right.
That's it. You know?
Okay. Well, yeah, because just piggybacking off of that, just coming off of like with the versus battle, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jeezy and Gucci Mane setting the example, for the youth, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just so much killing going on, and it's like, why? And then your album is right on time for even the youth to hear, for you guys leading by example as well, because like with all this killing, it's just nonsense,
Yes. To speak on that just momentarily, I actually I spoke to Jeezy personally, and I commended him for his action. I thought that was very mature, very responsible, very tasteful and graceful. And he handled himself like a gentleman. That I can appreciate. But I can also empathize with Gucci's side of the story too, because if he had not taken the actions that he took, he might not have been there to. He definitely would not have been there to
celebrate, have
that versus. Or have that animosity. It would have died with him. You know what I mean? So, I think we're going to get better results when you see the ones who are more popularized, showcase reform. You know what I mean? And redemption. You know what I mean? You got guys like us who are always going to be omnipresent and always be on the outskirts, because it's never our intention or our ambition to be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what our disposition was is to protect the outskirts, of the culture before death and destruction and disconnect was at our front doors. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to catch it, you got to go out into it. Greet it before it meets you at home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So we're not always, I think even more on the subconscious level, you know what I mean? And it's really surreal to see a song that we did 25 years ago come to life, and people are able to associate the environment that they're living in, you know what I mean, with something that was stated, you know what I mean, not for facts, you know what I mean, but it was made for fact, you know what I mean, in the present time. Now we foresaw the reality that is, and now it's the reality, and then we come alive again. You know what I mean? So we're commanded by the circumstance to speak. You know what I mean? Because it's now, what are we supposed to do? Say, I told you so? You know what I mean? Well, don't try to goddamn come to us for no guidance and no advice now. You know what I mean? You feel me? So right. Now the thing is, it's okay, if you guys were that far ahead of time, that must mean y'all might, if we ask y'all, if we inquire and lean into y'all might have a solution. You know what I'm saying?
That's where the survival kit
and so that's that. Yeah, that's where the survival kit comes in, and that's a bittersweet disposition, because we just human beings, we just men, we just mere men. You know what I mean? We got, but we got God's covering, we got God's intent and calling on our voices. You know what I'm saying? Purpose on our life, purpose on our product. You know what I mean? And purpose on our productivity. You know what I'm saying? So. So we here to fight and be the counterbalance, to coexist. You know what I mean? Balance is divine. Balance is a virtue. You know what I mean? So nothing will ever be just one side of the one thing. You know what I mean? And that versus battle represents that duality. You know what I mean? To where we got to resolve and mature over into coexistence as opposed to conflict. And so again, to just cap that off, I really commend Jeezy for the effort and the action that he took. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it wasn't, maybe it was some regret there, but it was mostly redemption.
So I'm Dion. I apologize for coming on the cast kind of late here. I had some situations going on, but definitely appreciate meeting you guys online. And you know, definitely we were talking about balance, CeeLo. One thing I can say about Goodie Mobb, and I don't know if you guys were talking about before this, but you've always been able to maintain that balance of giving us information as well as keeping us hype in the club. You know, it wasn't kind of what you hear now, not to make any diss or say anything bad about anyone that's putting out music now, but there was a lot more substance output. I'm gonna say it that way. A lot more substance in the music, as well as us being able to have a good time in the 112s and the 559s. You know, going back that far. You know, it was always good listening to that when I would come to Atlanta before I even moved there, just to be able to hear that and hear that positive energy come through the speaker.
Yes, sir.
Album. One of my favorite tracks, I think it was an important track on there, was Me Time.
I mean, well, with me, man, Me Time kind of played off of how they was trying to have everybody quarantined down here for a minute. You know what I mean? So it was almost like too much of Me Time. You know what I mean? Ain't good for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you had people that was doing excessive drinking. You know what I mean? You had suicide rate was going up, all that type of stuff. So it's definitely good to take time out for what you was doing. But for me, it's always to get back to what you was doing so your mind won't stay, you know what I'm saying, stay wandering on different type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
So if it's back to what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, whether it's you being a father, whether it's you going to work, doing your 9 to 5, or whether it's doing whatever you do in life, you know what I'm saying? You definitely got to keep going with that, because that's how we make our living. So if you quarantine everybody all fucking week, you know what I'm saying? How we gonna be able to support for our family? How we gonna be able to live? You know what I'm saying? How we gonna be able to have some type of sanity? You know what I'm saying? Unless we break it, you know what I mean, and get back out here and do it. But definitely, you know what I'm saying, Me Time is always, you know what I'm saying, good to reflect, you know what I'm saying, on what you've done in life, you know what I'm saying, kind of gather your thoughts and be ready to get back to the grind, you know what I'm saying, to present what you know what I'm saying, what you've been me timing all about.
Well, I was just making it relative to life in real time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we was dealing with quarantine and dealing with, you know, the obvious, the pandemic, and I was just trying to, you know, like when we're doing albums, it's typically, you know, and affectionately been my position to kind of, you know, look at the album as a script or a playwright. I mean, like that's the way that I create. I mean, like create within the boundaries of a concept. I mean, like, you know, and then of course once the foundation is laid, we can expound and color outside of the lines,
Right.
just to make sure that we have framework. So, you know, Survival Kit, you know, as it relates to Me Time was just one of those moments within, you know, the album, which is like a situational, you know, kind of thing, where it's just time to be introspective, you know, ponder, be prayerful, meditate, reflect, you know, and reset. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and appreciate, man, because like, you know, we were confronted with, you know, our mortality. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we were confronted with, you know, what was truly priceless and what was truly necessary in life. I mean, like what you need, like, you know, and you realize it don't take much to live. It don't take much to be happy. You know what I mean? Like you just want family, you know, love, laughter, sunlight, food, you know, clothing and shelter. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like life ought to be simple. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and so just having a little bit of me time, sometimes to just be quiet, was basically a song about having just a simple pleasure. You know what I mean? Like no clocks, no mirrors. I ain't even concerned about myself. I want to lose myself. You know what I mean? Sometimes we can become too self-absorbed. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not concerned about none that's on TV. I ain't concerned about myself. You know, this is a selfless moment. I'm going to acknowledge something greater than myself in this moment with a prayer and with a meditation and with something, a ritual. You know what I mean? Like, that I can be replenished by and refined by. You know what I'm saying? Like, me time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My favorite was curry goat. I like
That's
the
my
beat.
favorite, girl. What do you know about that?
I was gonna ask, so is who's cooking curry goat?
Man, Timo.
I'm just saying.
I like curry chicken, but I never had the goat. That's my favorite off the
It's
whole.
got a weird taste to it. I done had it before. It's got a strange little wild gamey type taste to me. I ain't really fond of the goat thing, but I want to try it. You know what I'm saying?
Curry goat.
The Jamaicans be talking about it all the time, so I'm like, you know what? Let me try that goat.
Yeah.
You know, I tried it. You know, and nah, I pass on that. Give me the chicken. I'm with you, sis.
right.
You know, you gotta get curry goat in Jamaica. You gotta go to the islands to get it, man. They don't cook it. You gotta go to the islands. You gotta get in Jamaica or the Bahamas.
Either that or you just got to be hungry as hell.
For real.
Well, curry goat, man, to me it's almost like a play on soul food, like we did on the soul food album, but it's just got a different type of flavor to it. You feel what I'm saying? Soul food was like boom, 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 zoom, 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 boom, boom. But curry goat is goddamn motherfucking everywhere. Man.
Yeah.
Goddamn, that shit doing backflips, somersaults, goddamn gainers, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think curry goat is like a different type of flavor, man, that Organized Noise came with. I ain't never, well, with this particular song, I had never heard Organized Noise put no shit like this together. Now, I've heard them use horns and shit like that, but the way they used it and the way how this shit was just going, it almost had the same BPMs as Soul Food, maybe a little bit faster, but it was still punching though. It was a different type flavor. When you're dealing with curry, the seasoning, that's a different type flavor than when you're dealing with soul food. But with soul food, you're dealing with salt, pepper, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some paprika, maybe some, but you ain't thinking about putting curry in soul food. You know what I'm saying? So curry was a different type of flavor. Hopefully the brothers and sisters in the islands, you know what I'm saying, can kind of get with that shit with the horns. Because it was another type flavor, man, that Organized Noise brought, man.
It was just another way to say, man, our unique signature sound is an acquired taste, but it's a delicacy. You know what I'm saying? You know, curry goats. You dealing with sauce and you dealing with the greatest of all time, man. The Goodie Mobb, man. We the goats.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Curry goat.
Right. And then speaking of soul food, like, you know, you guys are celebrating the 25th year anniversary. Like, you know, how does it feel to just know that your music is just still relevant to this day?
It's a very gratifying. You know, I mean, I can say, just come from Timo Goodie. You know, we just thankful that people are open-minded enough to get into what we got to say. You know what I mean? Because they don't. This is your time. This is me time for the world, and they don't have to spend their time listening to what we saying or what we doing on the music. But as far as us giving a ray of hope, inspiration, motivation in our lyrics and our music, you know, giving people an alternative to what you normally hear on the radio. You know what I'm saying? It's gratifying. I feel good. But I can tell you this, it's calculated. You know, we knew at the beginning that we wanted to make sure that the music that we made, we could take back home and let mama and grandmama hear it, because we from the house, you know what I mean? We homeboys, you know, we raised by our grandmas, our mothers, our fathers, you know, the whole village. So we want to be able to take the product back to the village and get the approval from the village. So once we knew and we were able to listen to what we had created on Soul Food and listen to it with an open mind and not ears, not ringing from hearing a bunch of bull crap all the time. It felt good. And that gave Goodie Mobb a direction in the beginning that we didn't intend on following. We didn't know exactly how we were going to come as Goodie Mobb. LaFace Records signed us thinking that we were going to be some players just like Outkast because we was on the Southern Player listed Cadillac. So they were ready for us to ride up in the Cadillacs with the Hellcats and the Urkels and all that type of stuff. They were ready to go, you know, but Goodie Mobb showed them that, you know what, we lyricists and we raised from New York hip-hop, West Coast hip-hop, down South Texas hip-hop. All that hip-hop made us who we are today. Without that hip-hop, it wouldn't be no Goodie Mobb. You know what I'm saying? So big up to everybody, all the coasts. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see us coming. The good part about it is that during the West Coast, East Coast beef, they never saw this South juggernaut coming, slipping in the back door. But once we kicked in the back door, we're here to stay. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm straying off from what your question is, but I just
You good. Okay, well, I know we're on a schedule. I know you guys have other things to do. Before we wrap up, you know, just talk a little bit about what else can we expect and your, you know, your new partnership with a distribution deal with 1RPM.
Well, it's all about, you know, I mean, I'm sure it's all about how we feel when it's over with, you know. It's all about how we feel. We're probably going to keep going. We're just going to keep making music. Just know that you're going to hear some new Goodie Mobb music soon. You know what I mean? We're not going to stop this time. So, you know, we're in a very critical time. So, with that being said, man, Voltron had to form again to come save us. So, we here. Hello?
Yo, what's up, family? This is CeeLo Goodie.
Yo, what's up? This Cujo Goodie Zone 1, West H.
What's up? This Big Gil.
Yo, what up? It's your boy T-Mo Goodie.
And we all up in your face with Brianna on what?
Hip Hop United, baby.